Hey everyone, it's been over 2 minutes. I haven't been raped yet. That's for my old school listeners. And if you don't get the joke, that's your problem, not mine. What I want to talk about today is the reason women lie about rape. Yes, I said the word. And that's why my videos are not monetized. Because if you talk about these sensitive subjects, you can't monetize. So if you like my work, you're going to have to support me um, through other means. I'll put a few options below. I am so happy to be back talking about this. I have spent a number of years being tutored by and, mentored by and thankfully working with the amazing Joseph Neuberger, a criminal lawyer in Toronto, where we primarily defend people against sexual assault allegations. And I've been asked to talk about what it is preventatively that you could try to do to protect yourself against false allegations. This is a very, very difficult subject because hindsight is 2020. But, the problem is like, and I always hate when people say online, don't stick your dick in crazy because you don't know they're crazy until afterwards, right? So this is a terrible expression. And it's a very interesting question as to what signs you can look for without being paranoid and destroying your life and not having fun. Because, sometimes you enjoy life because you take chances and go out there and just do stuff and get engaged, and maybe it doesn't work out right for you all the time. It's a little bit different than getting yourself criminally charged. So what can you look for to know what kind of woman is going to make a false allegation? And, the problem with this is there's a number, like every case we work on, almost every case, we suggest a motive. And I think the first thing that comes to mind for me is look at the person you're dating, and if they make a mistake, look at whether or not they can take a responsibility for that mistake, or do they have to blame somebody else for it? To me, that is number one. That is number one. If you're with somebody who, I'm the kind of person, I'm pretty much right all the time. So I don't like admitting I'm wrong, but when I'm wrong, I'll admit it. And if I make a mistake, I'll own it. If that person cannot take responsibility for embarrassment, embarrassment is a big thing and very understudied. If somebody's embarrassed or found to be wrong, which is kind of similar, look and see how they respond to that. Because if they can't take ownership of it and just say, hey, you know what? Like, there was a time when what's her name? From Black Eyed Peas, Fergie, she was on stage and apparently peed herself on stage. And then she got confronted by the media who said, oh, did you pee yourself? Because apparently she dumped a bottle of wine or whatever all over herself. And she goes, try and cover it up. She goes, yeah, yeah, I was drinking backstage and, shit happened and whatever. It's like I was jumping around and pee happens, basically. That's a woman. Mind you, somebody should have told Fergie she can't rap. But aside from that, um, I really think it's important for women to understand that we fought for rights so we can take responsibility for our own decisions. And I really think in answer to that question, what's a red flag? You want to look for a woman who actually can say, yeah, I fucked up. And we torture ourselves all the time over what we did. And that's not a good thing to do, but don't torture somebody else. Don't blame somebody else for your own bad decisions. And it's kind of interesting because a lot of people see these videos that I do as, videos for men trying to fight against women, but I actually see them as videos for women because I want women to be better people. And it breaks my heart to see how many women will not take responsibility for their own choices and their own decisions. And so, there was one sort of a thing that people said, it's like, oh, look at how somebody treats a waiter at a restaurant. And if they're cruel to the waiter, they're not somebody you want to be with. There's little things like that you can follow. I would say the number one bit of advice I can give to you is to not get involved with somebody until you've known them for a little while, first of all, but watch what happens when they're wrong about something. And if they blame somebody else for it and can't say, oh, I screwed up, that's a big problem. So that's my best advice for you today. See you soon.